In the 1850s, Russia was a poor country with a large growing population. 90% of the population worked the lands. New technology slowly developed in Russia. Russia, wanting to spread their territory into Europe, led to a disagreement with France over the protection of Christian shrines in Jerusalem, which created conflict. The war between the two countries showed the power of modern technology. Russia lost around 450,000 soldiers by 1856. France defeated Russia. The war convinced the country that they were behind in industrializing the nation. They needed railroads, better armaments, and a military reform to remain a great power. With the development of railroads, Russia was able to export grains, and earn money for further development. Suburbs grew, with factories beginning to take shape. With more money and power, Russia began taking territory. Sergei Witta believed that backwardness threatened their power. He encouraged foreigners to build factories, saying the inflow of foreign capital is the only way by which our industry will be able to supply our country quickly with the abundant and cheap products. In 1900, peasants were still the majority of the population. In the lead-up to the Revolution of 1905, Russia was involved in the Russo-Japa War, which destroyed the entire Russian fleet. Because of the failed military battles, the country was torn. The political upheaval made the business and professional classes want a more liberal government. The factory workers organized a movement to fix the country's many problems, poverty and overpopulation being a few. In January of 1905, a crowd of workers went to the Winter Palace in St. Petersburg to present a petition to Tsar Nicholas II, and the army opened fire on the crowd, killing and injuring hundreds. Later in 1905, the Tsar decided to have a Duma, or a parliament elected to represent the people. The ministers started to break down, at which point the Tsar dismissed the Duma. With new laws written, the Tsar pushed new agrarian reforms designed to break up old village ownership of land and encourage peasants to be more enterprising. These reforms led to an economic growth leading up to 1914, the start of World War I. The revolution ultimately failed because the reforms they wanted did not succeed. Europe wanted to reshape the Ottoman Empire. Egypt modernized in agriculture and military, led by Muhammad Ali. Europe wanted their weak states to have a leader, and it chose Muhammad Ali for Egypt. Liberal capitalism helped the growth of Western-style banking and insurance system. However, the bulk of the businessmen's profits that were used for them went to foreign investors. Abdul II's government failed to halt to foreign efforts to fragment and take over the Ottoman territories. Soon after, Young Turks seized the power of the Sultan and pressed the new reforms. By World War I, the Ottoman Empire had fallen.